Local workspaces are a way for you to group repositories that are already on your machine. I'll show you a couple of ways of how to create local workspaces, but the main benefits is that you have an easier time working with multiple repositories, and you can see at a glance what the status of each of the currently checked out branches for those repos are. So is anything ahead or behind? Might even jog your memory and help you recall what you were working on if it's been a long weekend, or if you just need a little refresher. Okay, so let's open up GitKraken client. And let me take a step back here. So I'll start with the new tab view. And you'll notice that there's a couple ways to access the workspace tab. So first of all, in the new tab layout, we do have an option to just open workspaces. You may click on that and that'll open the workspace tab here in GitKraken client. You may also navigate, so let me show you again here. You may also navigate to this tab here in the upper left corner, right next to this folder icon. This is the Workspaces tab. You may click on it to open it, and this will show you all the workspaces on your machine. So this will probably be empty if this is the first time that you're accessing this. And so if you wish to create a new workspace, click this button in the top right corner where it says New Workspace, and you'll see an option to create a cloud workspace or a local workspace. We have a separate lesson for Cloud Workspace, so let's just focus on the local workspace. I'll click this button, and this is where you may populate information about your local workspace. So here I'll create, let's see, I have a icon I saved for that. Let me move my big head over here. There we go. I'll call this JS Sites. Okay, and add a description if you wish, but the most important part here is this Browse button. So click to browse either in Finder, File Explorer, depending on what OS you have, and go ahead and browse to the folder of wherever you have your repositories located. If you have them organized based off some organizing principle, feel free to use that. But this is where I've stored all of my repositories on my machine. I can click to open this entire folder. I think I have 52 repositories in here, and that I do. And so this will open up all the, well, it'll prepare all the repos. I can go ahead and choose to say, so for example, I have a couple test ones that I probably don't need. So I can click X to remove those repos. From the local workspace, you'll have the ability to do this after the fact as well. And I'll choose the option to create workspace. So there you go. Your local workspace has been created. You get a list of all the repositories here on the left. So you have the repository name. In the middle, we have the branches that are currently checked out. And we will also give you a status of whether or not your branch is ahead or behind, or if there's any pending works in progress WIPs that you can review. You can click this icon here to open the repository details. This one has a blank README. Let me find one that probably has a better README. I bet this one has a README. We'll try, this one might have a README. Okay, it had a simple README, but that counts still. And then we have shortcuts to open this repository in a repo tab or in a terminal tab. But most importantly, you can click on any row. So let's choose this feature upvote CSS, and that'll open the repository right up in GitKraken client. You can do the same thing by just performing a multi-select, and you can choose this option to open the 3 repositories or however many you have selected as tabs in GitKraken client. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. All 3. I think I clicked a little too fast there, but you kind of get the idea. You can open as many repos as you wish, and then jump between other repositories and use the local workspace as your hub, as your center for understanding, what the status of your current repositories are. Okay, I'll show you a couple more things before we conclude this lesson. You can create. So I'm going to click on this folder icon in the top left corner. And we do have the ability to create local workspaces from your project directory. So this was something from a previous lesson. If you notice that I also have a sites project directory located here, I can right click on this option to create local workspace. It'll do the same exact thing. I think I'll have the option. There you go. So it has the repository list pre-populated, and I can go through and update the name and description, or even change to a cloud workspace if I wish to switch to that. But that's a future lesson. Okay, I think that covers just about everything I wanted to cover for local workspaces. There's still so much more to cover, but I think this will get you started, and I'll see you in the next lesson.